Sandro here from Carcraft Auto Detailing in Melbourne. Today I'm going to be having a look at tyre dressings, going through some of my favourites, evaluating their performance in relation to finish, durability and their application. Much like interior dressings, we've seen a shift from the glossier the better mentality to now many people wanting a matte, satin or lower gloss finish on their tyres. And although I respect that there is still a segment of the market that wants and expects that blistering shine on their tyres after a wash or a detail, it's something that I've personally moved on from and don't apply on my customers' cars. So, although the products I'll be reviewing do still add shine, they won't be the glossiest ones on the market. Another big shift in these products is the move away from oil, petroleum and solvent-based products to water-based ones. Even though there are still many oil-based ones out there, I won't be reviewing them as I'm personally not a fan. Although these dressings are far more durable and retain their gloss for far longer than water-based ones, they are also a real pain to remove and a nightmare for me as a detailer, as I can always tell when I'm cleaning tyres if they've had an oil dressing applied by the way my brushes get gunked and destroyed. And although the label of the solvent-based dressing will most likely say something like it has UV filters and protects your tyres, my personal experience with these dressings says otherwise. My philosophy with tyre dressings is that you should be able to clean them off relatively easy when you wash your car, reapply and repeat. And if they last a few weeks up to a month, they've done their job. So all the dressings I'll be reviewing today are also water-based. Another form of dressings I won't be looking at are aerosols. As much as they are a convenient hands way off of dressing your tyres, I just can't get over the overspray that lands over the car's paint and rims. Not to mention that in my experience, they are also the worst tyre slinging dressings as well. The last thing I want after spending all day detailing a vehicle is to see greasy, dressy droplets covering the paint, or to have my customer drive off and sling tyre dressing all over the freshly detailed paint. So for those reasons, I'm not a fan of aerosols. I also want to add that my experiences are just that, my experiences. And with all the environmental and material variables out there, I don't expect everyone's experiences with certain products to be the same as mine. And although all the reviews I do are based on real world applications and results, rather than what a product label tells me, my advice is, if you like aerosols, use them. If you've never had an issue with solvent-based dressings, go for it. And if you like the sort of gloss that's so bright and hurts your eyes like staring at the sun for too long, do what makes you happy and brings a smile to your face. So let's start to have a look at some of these products, starting with the Chemical Guys VRP dressing. I've only tried a few of the company's products so far, not being overly impressed with a couple of their polishes, but actually really liking some of their other offerings. VRP is definitely on the glossier side than most other products here, but like just about any other tyre dressing out there, you can adjust its finish to some degree with your application. If you're after the higher end of the gloss spectrum, this dressing can meet your needs by applying it a little more liberally and not going over it a second time to dull down the surface. And if you want a low sheen to satin finish, just wipe it down with a second dry applicator or cloth to achieve that. But if you're after a matte finish, this isn't the dressing for you. It has a very nice sweet smell, better durability than most water-based dressings, applies very evenly to produce a nice uniform finish, and is very low on the tyre sling factor. VRP was my go-to dressing for well over a year, replacing Meguiar's Hyper dressing, which I used for many years. I just found the VRP to have a little more durability and less sling than the Hyper dressing, and even more so was the $120 Meguiar's price tag versus the $60 Chemical Guys for 3.8 litre quantities. Next is Optimum's OptiBond Tyre Gel. This is definitely a step down in gloss compared to both the VRP and the Hyper dressings, but by no means a flat or matte finish. For me, it sits at a satin to mid-gloss range depending on your application, and just like water-based dressings, it can also be diluted with water to dull down its gloss as well as making it more economical. More so than any other tyre dressing, I personally like this product at a 1:1 dilution. For me, its consistency is a little on the slimy side, making it harder to work with and requiring a bit more effort to achieve a nice, even, uniform finish. And although diluting it will reduce its shine and slightly compromise its great durability, it does make this dressing a little easier to work with. At about $28 a litre or $60 for 3.8 litres, it's as cheap, if not cheaper, than most products here. And if diluted down with water, it becomes even more so economical. A second offering from Optimum is their Tyre Shine. This is a step down on shine in comparison to Optibond, producing a lower gloss to satin finish that again depends on your application. Unlike Optibond, it has a more uniform, thinner consistency that quite nicely applies, creating a great even finish. But I wouldn't go diluting this dressing, as its finish and consistency is already similar to a 1:1 dilution of Optibond, but still a little all-round better in my opinion. It sits at the very same price point as Optibond, but Optibond's dilution ability potentially makes it greater value. However, Tyre Shine in my opinion creates a more uniform satin-like finish to my taste, and although not as durable, it has a little less sling factor than its brother in my experience. HD's dress has been my main Tyre dressing for the last year or so, replacing Chemical Guy's VRP dressing for me. What prompted the change was its more matte to satin finish that's in line with my current personal taste, as well as its low to no sling factor, which a couple of customers mentioned to me back when I was using hyperdressing. It's still the most uniform and even applying dressing that I've ever used, also providing the quickest no fuss application. Where it falls a touch short is in its durability, that, although is good, is still less than any other dressing here. I love the fact that it washes off so easily and doesn't leave any nasty residue, but it would be nice if it lasted an extra week or so. And the fact that it's not available in bulk, at least here in Australia, makes it a little costly in comparison to its competitors. At $25 for this half-litre bottle, it tips the scale here as the most expensive Tyre dressing. A product I've been transitioning over to from HD Dress is Carp Rose Pearl. I've talked about this product in a previous video in that it's quite versatile through various water dilutions in being used for many exterior and interior dressing applications. Although this is not unique to Pearl, it does in my opinion do a better all-round job than most other multi-surface dressings, though it doesn't finish as well on every particular surface. I do however feel that its greatest strength is its Tyre dressing performance. I would place its undiluted finish on par with Optimum's Tyre Shine, and at a 1:1 dilution it creates a more matte to satin finish similar to HD Dress and Shine, but still different to both as they all have unique finishes. I'm yet to see any Tyre dressing sling from this product, and thus far it seems to have great durability, but I haven't as yet tested it as thoroughly as the rest of these dressings. At just over $25 a litre, it's half the price of what I'm paying for HD Dress, or a quarter at a 1:1 dilution, which also puts it on par with the cheapest products here. If I had to choose an over-the-counter dressing for my tyres, or a Meguiar's consumer brand product, it would be the company's Natural Shine Protectant. Although this is clearly geared towards interior dressings, it's a little too shiny for that purpose for my personal taste. But as their consumer Tyre dressings tend to be petroleum based and extremely shiny, Natural Shine Protectant is the only one I've tried that, although it still adds noticeable gloss, it's not over the top and can be wiped down to produce a lower, more satin finish. Its durability is on par with most water-based dressings here. It can sling a little if it's not wiped down thoroughly, but that can be said for most products here as well. It retails for about $20 in this half-litre sprayer, which also makes it cheaper than any over-the-counter Meguiar's dedicated Tyre Shines, but more expensive than any of the professional line bulk dressings here. There is obviously an abundance of Tyre dressings to choose from at your local auto store, but for me, they just don't compare to the professional lines and brands you can find online, in both overall performance and cost. But I just wanted to add Meguiar's Natural Shine as my favourite retail Tyre dressing. Last but not least is 303's Aerospace Protectant. As the name suggests, It was formulated for space and aircrafts where having no shine or reflections in the cockpit is vital for obvious safety reasons. I've used this product for many years and can speak to its great durability and the protection it provides in both interior and exterior surfaces. It's one of the very few dressings on the market which has little to no impact in restoring or altering the surface it's applied to, and it really is more of a protectant than a dressing. As you may guess, on tyres, this will produce quite a matte finish, which for new or well-kept tyres is my favourite product to use. It will protect and maintain that beautiful new tyre natural look when used regularly. That, I think, is the best look for tyres. But for older tyres that have not been well maintained, it just doesn't do enough to restore the rubber to an acceptable level for both myself and my customers' expectations. And the same goes for its interior use. I highly recommend this product for new and well-maintained interiors. But when I'm trying to restore neglected and faded interior surfaces, it just doesn't do enough to achieve that wow factor that my customers are after. At about $35 for this half-litre bottle, I really recommend buying this product in bulk for about $130 for 3.8 litres, which still places it at the second most expensive product here, but a far cheaper option in the long run. I really hope you found this video useful. Please like, comment and subscribe to show your support. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.